Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is proof Stephen A. Smith was jealous and intimidated by Max Kellerman. So that's a topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. We all know the big news about Max Kellerman leaving ESPN First Take. We all know this. We have done numerous videos on our channel covering this. We were there. We did a live when we first broke the news. Subsequently, we did some other videos covering that same story as more information started to come out. And I believe it was 2 days ago we covered it, where an article came out that said that one of the main reasons that Stephen A. Smith got Max Kellerman booted off the show was due to the fact that he felt intimidated by Max Kellerman's smartest guy in the room attitude. We did a video about that. I said, listen, I think Stephen A. Smith is an extremely sharp guy, but I think Max Kellerman is a little bit sharper. And I wasn't sure, I wasn't sure if I was ready to come to the conclusion that Stephen A. Smith was in fact intimidated by Max Kellerman. So yesterday, funny enough, I forgot that his replacement, Max Kellerman in this case, was Michael Irvin, who's a former NFL player, Pro Bowler, multiple time Super Bowl winner, number 88, who played for the Dallas Cowboys. I forgot that he was making his debut on ESPN First Take yesterday, which was on September 6th, depending on when you're seeing this, which was on a Monday, right? So I tuned in, and let me tell you, after listening to about one or two segments of these two, and these two, we're talking about Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin together, it became apparently clear to me that Stephen A. Smith was intimidated by Max Kellerman. It was plain as day to me after I watched a few segments. At first, as I said, I had some reservations about coming to that conclusion because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Maybe that's too much of a stretch. But after watching those two segments, it became apparently clear to me, because what I saw from those two shows was this. I think that Stephen A. Smith was intellectually intimidated by Max Kellerman. And it's something that Marco actually said. Marco's the co-founder here at Dreamerspro. When I first told him the news, and he told me, he said, why? When I told him, he said, why do you think it happened? And I told him myself. And then he said, I think he did it because I think they getting rid of him. He did it because he knew he's better than him. He said he thinks the reason they got rid of Max Kellerman is because Stephen A. Smith knew that Max Kellerman was better than him. That's what he said. This was weeks ago. Right? That was the first thought that came to my mind. And after watching that thing, man, I realized that, listen, he was intimidated by Max Kellerman. I think Stephen A. Smith did not want someone that would challenge him intellectually, and it showed. It showed, right? Because Michael Irvin, no disrespect to Michael Irvin as an NFL player, right? As an athlete, no disrespect to him. But Michael Irvin cannot articulate his ideas as clearly as Stephen A. Smith or Max Kellerman. And he definitely can't do it as well as Stephen A. Smith. This is no diss to him, right? As a person that has a decent grasp of the English language, a decent grasp. I'm not a scholar, anything like that, in that stretch. But I think that Stephen A. Smith ultimately wanted to be the loudest and the smartest person in the room. We've done some videos on Stephen A. Smith. Some people wonder, why are you always coming at Stephen A. Smith? I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think Stephen A. Smith is extremely arrogant, and I said it before and I'll say it again. I took exception to the comments that he made about those Nigerian players' names. I didn't think it was funny. I think Stephen A. Smith was trying to get a laugh out of some people, and somebody that's proud of their heritage. It's not a joke to me. Maybe some people, it's a joke, it's not a big deal. That's to you. To me, it isn't, right? And if you respect who you are, and you're proud of who you are, you would take exception to it too. And you would know somebody like this that showed complete and utter disregard for your heritage. I don't see why you would be fond of somebody like that. I've already seen his colors. I think he's a very, very arrogant person. And I think, I just think, and it turns out it looks that also that he is petty, because I think all he wanted to be was the loudest person in the room. That was the smartest person in the room. He didn't want to be he didn't want to be challenged. And it shows by this hire. It shows. And the saddest part of all of this, the saddest part of this entire decision, in my opinion, to let Max Kellerman go, was that it had nothing to do with the viewing public. I mean, think about it. In the last 5 years, Max Kellerman was on ESPN First Take for 5 years. 5 years. Y'all tell me a time in that 5-year span where Max Kellerman had to come out and make a public apology for some of the comments that he made on any given issue. Name the time that ever happened. That never happened. Has Max Kellerman given some poor takes here and there? Yes, but no one is perfect. No one is perfect. No one can give, you can't always be perfect, and we understand that. But Max Kellerman was never called to the carpet to come out here and make public apologies. In this year alone, Stephen A. Smith has had to do at least 2-3 times with the Shohei Ohtani comments, the Nigerian players comments, and then somehow after all of that, Max Kellerman gets booted off of the show just because he's the star of the show. Listen, I think they made that decision and they were not thinking about their audience. They forgot the fact that some people listening to these two guys listen to these two guys debate actually were being entertained and getting some good information. Because the one thing you can say about Max Kellerman, he may not be as entertaining as Stephen A. Smith. Fine. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. But Max Kellerman could put up some pretty good, some damn good, argument points, right? He was a pretty analytical guy. He could be funny. He can, and oftentimes he would inform his audience, which I thought would be something that you would want as a network. You don't want to just, lull people to sleep and dumb them down completely. You want to be able to entertain them, but at the same time inform them, right? You want people that, if you have guys on TV that are intelligent, that are speaking a certain way, maybe using certain words, maybe some of your audience demographic can go back and say, what's that word that he used? Okay, let me check this out. Okay, let me see what these words are. So you're improving as you're watching the show, right? You're getting smarter as you're watching the show. You're learning things along the way, and it benefits the audience ultimately. But in this instance, I don't think that they were thinking about any of that. I don't think any of that came into the decision-making process. I think the only reason they made that decision was to pacify the fragile ego of Stephen A. Smith, and it showed. And people are already making their opinions felt. You go and click on any one of those videos that ESPN published with their first episode of Michael Irvin and go look at the dislike ratio. All of them is like 50%. I've never seen anything like that before. Never. Now, some people could say, and we said this in another video, people are just reeling and mourning that Max Kellerman is gone. No, people are not stupid. Like, something good when you see it. That is not a good product that they put out there, and I feel that Max Kellerman got a raw deal. And to me now, I am ready to come to the conclusion that I think that this guy was just insecure. Because I don't see how hiring Michael Irvin to replace Max Kellerman benefits their audience in any way. Because all it is just a shouting match now. That's all it's turned into, and that really not turned into. That's all it's degenerated into, a shouting match. And to me, it just looks as if this guy didn't want to be intellectually challenged. He didn't, and that's my opinion. That's exactly what I think. Some people may disagree and say, no, that is exactly what I think. In Dreamerspro, we like to give you guys our raw and fresh opinions, right? We're not here trying to, we're not beholden to anyone. So that's exactly how we feel about this, about this particular issue. So congratulations, ESPN, you got what you want, whatever that is. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about the comments that I made in this video? What are your thoughts about this situation? Ultimately, whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.